Who are the best realtors in Charlotte, NC? Charlotte, North Carolina has got a lot of real estate agents. We're licensed in both states, North and South Carolina. But among the best realtors in Charlotte, this young lady right here, Denise O'Farrell. She's from Dublin, Ireland. She came to America years ago, she and her husband, and then moved to Charlotte from the Boston area to really raise their family. And that's pretty exciting. She is a human dynamo. She's fantastic. I want to give you an idea what you can expect when you're working with, say, Denise as one of the best realtors in town. Those of you that know me, subscribers to the channel, know that we love new construction and we love buyers. Why? Because a lot of times people relocating to the greater Charlotte area need to buy a home, and we've been there, done that, and we can help you. All my other three guys, three of us total have worked out of a model home, working for builders. But you're going to have a delightful experience with Denise O'Farrell. I want to show you what you can expect. Let's say that you call me and say, hey, when can Denise reach out to me? We want to buy, or maybe you want to sell. In fact, Denise and I just had a successful transaction with one of my YouTube subscribers who was ready to sell their house. They built it as new construction. 12 years later, they wanted to sell. She got it sold in 2 days for over the asking price. That was phenomenal. And she'd love to tell you how she does stuff like that. But let's just say you call and say, hey, I'm moving. I want to buy a house, and I have Denise call me. Great. That's how it works. And so then you'll get an email from her with this type of information. Hey, Roger, it's great speaking to you, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts disclosing to you documents that, honestly, the Real Estate Commission in Raleigh expects us to do right away. And that's what Denise does. And one of those is working with real estate agents brochure. So she'll send you this file and talk about it, and then say, hey, here it is. It explains buyer agency, seller agency, sub-agency, and what you can expect as a buyer working with a real estate agent or a seller. So that's pretty basic, but it's pretty important. They don't do that, by the way, when you walk into a model home. That's why don't walk into a model home without one of us. Had a neat experience today. This guy did it exactly all right. He was coming into a new construction neighborhood today, had an appointment with a salesperson, and he said, hey, I understand from your videos that if I don't have an agent with me when I first go in there, then I'm losing the opportunity. And that's exactly right. So I connected him to one of my team members who's meeting him really right now in the model home and representing them, and it's all good. So the next thing is the NC Agency Disclosure Acknowledgement. What this means is that you did, as a buyer, you did get this disclosure and about buyer agency, dual agency, etc., unrepresented buyer, and that's important. And we're going to ask you to sign that because that's all part of the deal. I have a real estate dog, Jude the Realty Dude, that must have just seen somebody walk by, so I hope you can hear him. Then the next thing is the buyer agency agreement. Now, I know a lot of people don't really want to sign stuff, especially early on, but again, just so that you can understand what we must do as licensed real estate agents, code of ethics, and we're realtors, meaning we're members of the National Association of Realtors, the state association, and the local association. And we are required to get a buyer agency agreement to show you houses now. That's all part of the lawsuit from a year or so ago. So you will be, any agent, by the way, any agent will ask you to sign a buyer agency agreement. That's the way it works. And the term on that, I mean, we don't have to tie you up for 12 months, but talk to Denise about it. Then you get a chance to look at the purchase agreement. This is fantastic. These are all forms that the Real Estate Commission of North Carolina wants us to use. And so it tells you if you're going to make an offer. So, you know, getting this up front and being able to ask questions before you submit an offer, the purchase price, the due diligence, the earnest money, all of that. That's so good that you can have this right away and you can, check it out. The professional services disclosure is something that we use to explain what we will do and what we won't do, and what you want us to do and what you don't want us to do. Everything from a home warranty, the attorney, the appraisal, and all of that. That's a great document to understand. Then we've got one called Understanding Home Inspections, and then that's kind of self-explanatory. And then I like this one a lot, by the way. This is basically the home buying process. Now, again, getting this up front, number one, lets you know that Denise O'Farrell is one of the best realtors in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she is giving you information that will help you in the process and in advance. So here, this is you. She's going to connect you to a lender if you don't already have one, and then she's going to be your agent, right? She's going to prioritize your needs. She's going to research the market. She's going to show you and refine property searches based on what your criteria is, what you want, whether that's, price point's important, but maybe school district, maybe commute to the airport or work or whatever. And then you're going to view properties, and she's going to show you, she's really good at this stuff. And she's going to write an offer to purchase, and then she's going to work on the negotiation, the counter offers, and so on. In the meantime, it talks about earnest money, due diligence. That's really important to understand. And then she's going to go down to where you get the contract, and then she's going to help with the inspections and investigations. I remember her doing something that really touched me really good. There's a neighborhood in Indian Land, not far from where she lives, actually, is a new construction neighborhood. Taylor Morrison was the builder. And there's this little plot of land, no marker on it. But she investigated that, and she got out of her car, put on her dirty boots, and she walked into that, and she found out that there was a cemetery back there. Now, that's kind of important to know, and I don't remember the builder disclosing that, but she investigated it, and she found out, and that's just kind of good stuff to know. So she's going to help with the property survey, the final settlement, home insurance, everything. Final walkthrough, go to the closing, get your keys. And that's in my house. My wife loves her too. We call her my girl, Denise O'Farrell. We also call her the listings queen. She's just pleasant, and she's a hard worker, and she's smart, and you'll have a great experience. So call me, and I've got other agents too. 704, if you want to work with a veteran, we got Donnie. If you want to work with guys that have sat in a model home, that's Rodney and Joe, and we understand it from all angles. And we can help you with new, but also resale, and we can also help you list and sell your house in North or South Carolina. 704-345-3400. I'm proud to be working with one of the best, with really four of the best realtors in Charlotte, NC. I'll talk to you soon.